welcome to the Nurse Maggie YouTube channel. We are grateful to be back. We are grateful for life, for good weather, for provision, for good health, for everything. And I want to thank all of you for the views, the comments, the likes, the subscriptions. And I have come back for us to continue the topic we started, which was on healthy weight management. So we did an introduction, we did a session on hydration, the importance of hydration when it comes to weight management, healthy weight management. And today we'll be getting into the diet section of it. Dieting, we're going to nip little chips of it off. I decided to approach mainly the important factors about dieting and not everything about dieting that is out there, because there's so much information about a healthy diet, and in most cases they are controversial. One study is controversial with the other one, and it becomes very confusing. But these are things that I have taken the time to, first of all, gather the information. I have tried them from time to time to see what works and what does not work for me. And I am able to come out with a few points that are important to consider. So let's jump into this. We're going to be talking about the 6 biggest pitfalls of dieting. Number 1, the very first pitfall of dieting is dieting in itself. Getting on a diet and food restrictions is very, it's a sliding scale, going down, it does not go up. It is a sure way for us to be able to fail at maintaining a healthy weight. Why? Because every food class that we have is important. There is no classification of food that is not important. Carbohydrates are as important as proteins are important, and vegetables, fruits, fats and oil even are important. But now we have to approach dieting with the understanding that we need to learn how to balance these things out, which ones are preferable and which ones would not work to maintain a healthy diet, because each food has its components and our bodies react to them in different ways. So that is the very first thing: no food restrictions and no dieting. And as I said earlier in the introduction video, if you cannot do it forever, for a long time, then don't even do it. What's the need? When you come back to eating, when you do it for a short time and you see what looks like good results and you come back to eating regularly, the weight comes on and it even goes beyond what it was in the first place. So dieting, going on a diet, is one of the biggest pitfalls and mistakes that we make, thinking that it would have a lasting effect. It does not. The second biggest pitfall, and this is not in any order, I just I'm pointing them out randomly. The second would be skipping meals. The worst thing that somebody can do to their body is to want to skip meals. It is recommended to have 5 to 6 small meals during the day, and this is including your main meals, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks in between. Okay, you could also have even more than 6 meals a day, but what do you eat? That is what is important to know. Why is skipping meals a pitfall? When you skip meals, 2 very grave things happen to your system, the very first thing that happens, which is a disadvantage to your system, is that your metabolism slows down to a halt. Okay? Your metabolism slows down to a halt depending on how long you've gone without eating. You know, the brain would send signals out, signals of starvation, signals of your body being in danger because you haven't eaten, and your body would halt the burning of calories because it's trying to preserve it for the longest of time. That is why in the introduction last week we said somebody can go for 21 days without food, 20 to 21 days, because your body would get into an auto-regulatory system to be able to distribute what you have gradually for those days because it senses danger. So that is the first effect of skipping meals. You don't want to skip meal. You want to reassure your brain. You want to reassure your body, your entire system, that you are safe and you're doing well and that they are going to have the nutrients and the fluids that they need to be able to function right. The second effect of skipping meals is that now when you decide to eat, what you're going to crave for, what you're going to want is going to be full of sugars, carbohydrates, and fats. Okay? I personally am not somebody who likes sweets. I'm not a sugar person, but I'm a salt person. I have a lot of taste for salt, and that is a lot of taste for carbohydrates. Okay, so when my body senses anything about starvation, what I would start craving for would be high fat and high carbohydrates. Okay, fufu, biscuit, anything fried things, and things that are full of flour is what I'm going to crave. So those are the effects of starving yourself, skipping meals, and letting your brain interpret it as if you are in a starvation mode. So the third thing that is very important to know, the third pitfall of dieting, is not having the understanding about empty calories. Okay, for women, it is recommended that our caloric intake for each day, for every 24 hours, is supposed to fall between 1,500 to 1,800 calories, depending on your size and your activity. When you're tiny, even if you're busy, 1,500 should be able to be enough. When you are bigger, like myself, 1,800 should be able to be enough for my daily activities. And for men, this number goes from 1,800 to 2,300. Is a good place for them to be, because men generally, they have more muscle. The muscle uses more energy. They have more muscles. They are usually buffer than we are, and stuff like that. So empty calories, if you don't know what empty calories is, it is a big pitfall for your weight loss plan, for your healthy management plan. I have some stuff right here in my hands. These are little candies, chocolates, candies, and stuff. These are the things we call empty calories. Okay? The disadvantage of eating these things, candies and regular chocolate bars and all those things, and most of the snacks that we have on the shelves, on the counters in the shops, the advantages, like somebody will say, oh, we need chocolate. There is dark chocolate. Okay, there is dark chocolate you can eat and have the benefits without loading your system with sugar. These things is these are what I call empty calories, okay? Instead of eating this, maybe before you get to the point of wanting all this sugar in your system, maybe it is advisable to eat this, okay? It has much water, it has a lot of nutrients, and it has sugar in it. The amount of sugar is nothing as compared to the amount of sugar in this, okay? This will be fuller, will make you fuller. It has a lot of fiber in it. This, zero fiber. Because it has fiber, it would be fuller, it would help your digestive system, and it's going to take longer for it to be digested and absorbed. This one, right away. As you eat it, it gets in right away. Insulin flushes into your system. But we're not going to go into these details. We'll come back when we're talking about fruit and vegetables and sweets and stuff like that. So these are the empty calories, anything that resembles this. Okay, the cakes, the pies, all those things we buy from the shops loaded with sugar, they are examples of empty calories. So we need to be able to make sure that the four of these, I'm going to check when I get to that section. I don't know how many calories these are, but I will bet you that out of the 1,800 calories you have per day, you do not want to spend 200 of your calories on this, okay? Maybe you rather eat something like this, which will come up to like 125 calories and have the nutrition from it and feel fuller than eating something like this that could probably be, this four could be maybe like 152, and it's just going to give you a boost of energy for like 15 minutes, okay? So that is for empty calories. The fourth pitfall is ignoring hormonal influences. If you do not understand or know how hormones influence our choices of food, then it is unfortunate. It is a big pitfall. We need to get understanding that a lot of the food choices that we make are influenced by the hormones that flow in our bloodstream, that I want to say that dictates our choices. Our hormones, they dictate our choices more than we think. Okay, so when we get to the section of hormonal influences, we'll be able to discuss in details about that. But ignoring and refusing to gather knowledge on it is a big mistake, which we don't want to make. So the fifth pitfall of dieting is late night eating. I'm a victim of that, and the reason I'm a victim of that is because I usually stay up really late, maybe right up to 2 a.m. on an average day. Not idly, most times I'll be working on something. A few times I'll just want to relax and watch something, listen to music and stuff like that. But late night eating is a big pitfall. Now, we know they say that you eat breakfast like a king, you eat lunch like this, you eat dinner like a pauper. When you do that, I've done that for years, as I said. I've tried these things, I've done that for years, and every time I fail at it. Because when I eat dinner as a pauper, by 8 p.m., except I plan on sleeping at 8, which would not happen. But by 8 p.m., 8:30, 9 p.m., I'm hungry. Now, I'm forced to go eat because I do not starve myself. So I'm forced to go eat at that late hour, and what happens? Right after that, an hour or two later, first of all, my activities are down at that time. I might be sitting and just working on something. I'm really not physical. So 1 to 2 hours later, I'm in the bed sleeping. What happens to those calories I ingested at that hour? So what I discovered is that to avoid late night eating, I needed to eat a satisfying dinner that would sustain me probably until the next morning. So late night eating is a big one we have to look into. And then the last major pitfall, and this is huge. I was taking part in this without knowledge until I watched the program and I decided to follow through, and I discovered it was true. The last and the sixth major pitfall of dieting is mindless eating. How many times do we hear somebody say, "Oh, I gained weight and I don't know why"? I'm one of those people. "Oh, this week I gained 2 pounds. I'm not sure why. I wasn't eating that much. I was drinking enough water. I was active. I went out 3 days for a jog. How come I gained weight?" But the truth is, if you are not keeping a food log, I hate food logs, but from time to time I have to write down, and every time I make a food log, I am disappointed at myself. Okay, mindless eating. At the end of the day, you think you've taken 3 meals. But if you keep a food log, you'll be shocked at how much food gets into your mouth. Okay? There are days that at night I sit down and I go back to the time I got out of bed to start jotting down the things I ate, and the list will be so long, and I would be appalled. I'll be like, I didn't realize I ate this much in this day. So mindless eating, we have to be mindful of every time we take something and we put into our mouth. Okay? Don't eat from a bag. Don't eat from a bowl. Don't, every time you're passing through the kitchen, don't grab something and put it in your mouth. That is what we call mindless eating. You're passing, you see a bottle of juice. You pour just a little bit at the bottom of the glass and you drink. And at the end of the day, your brain you don't remember that you did all that. And it amounts to a lot. If you sit down to make a meal chart of what you ate, you'll be surprised that you might be thinking generally that you ate around 2,000 calories. At the end of the day, you might be surprised that you hit 3,000 calories, 3,500 or something. So we need to look deep into mindless eating and address it. The best way to do it is to keep a daily food journal. You can track it for a week. You see, I track it from time to time. I don't do it every time. I track it from time to time because I need to see those things that are empty calories in my diet. Empty calories, so I can work on them, reduce them, and be mindful. Okay? So these are the 6 major pitfalls of dieting. We'll be coming back with the next video, which would be on proteins. Proteins. What are proteins? How important are they? How do they affect our healthy weight management plan? You have a wonderful weekend and the week coming. Thank you for your views. Please, if you have not subscribed, do so. Like, comment, let me know if there's anything I should add in my video. If there's anything else, any recommendations you have are welcomed. Thank you for your time, and ciao.